Welcome back. Today we're diving into the world of rare British coins, specifically focusing on the one penny. The humble penny may seem ordinary, but some editions of this coin have shocked collectors and investors with their sky-high auction values. From Victorian rarities to early 20th century minting errors, these coins are treasures hiding in plain sight. We'll go through the top 7 most valuable United Kingdom one-penny coins, explore their history, what makes them unique, their rarity, and, of course, their current market value in dollars. So, if you've ever wondered whether that old penny in you collection might be worth a fortune, keep watching until the end. So let's get started. First up, we explore the hidden treasures and everyday pocket change and uncover the true value of 1967. At first glance, this coin might not look like much, especially if it's found in dirty or worn condition. But behind its humble appearance lies fascinating history, unique details, and, in rare cases, surprising value in the collector's market. So let's take a closer look and see why the 1967 penny is more than just an old piece of copper. The 1967 UK one penny holds a special place in British numismatic history. It was minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II right before the Great Shift to Decimalization in 1971. This coin was part of the pre-decimal system where 240 pennies made up single pound sterling. 1967 was a significant year because it was the final time the penny was minted in such large numbers as the government was preparing for the upcoming change to a decimal currency. Millions of these coins entered circulation, and for most people, they were just everyday change. However, for collectors today, the 1967 penny represents the closing chapter of a monetary era that lasted for centuries. The design of the 1967 one penny is truly classic. On the obverse, you'll find the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth I, designed by Mary Gillick, with the simple inscription Elizabeth II, Gracia Regina F.D. Around the edges, the lettering proudly frames the Queen's youthful image. On the reverse, the iconic seated Britannia is depicted holding a trident and shield, a design that had appeared on British pennies since 1797. The coin is made from bronze with a weight of 9.45 grams and a diameter of 30.88 meters, giving it a solid feel compared to modern coins. Even in dirty or circulated condition, the detail of Britannia and the Queen's portrait often remains visible, adding charm to the piece. Now, when it comes to rarity, the 1967 penny might surprise you. With a massive mintage of over 650 million coins, it's not considered rare in general terms. Many households still have jars of these coins tucked away. However, what makes them desirable to collectors is their historical importance as the last year of the pre-decimal penny struck for circulation. Next up, the United Kingdom one penny coin from 1940. At first glance, this coin may look like just another old penny, but in reality, it carries remarkable history, rarity, and collector value. In fine condition, this piece of British currency has become an attractive find in the world of numismatics, with prices at option reaching impressive levels in dollars. If you're curious about how much your 1940 penny could be worth, then stay tuned. The one penny coin of 1940 belongs to the reign of King George V, who ruled from 1936 to 1952. During this period, the United Kingdom was in the middle of World War I. Despite the chaos, the Royal Mint continued producing coins for circulation to support the nation's economy. The penny was an essential coin in everyday trade, but wartime production and melee usage made certain mintages more desirable. Millions were struck, but due to circulation, most examples today are heavily worn, making a fine condition 1940 penny increasingly hard to find. The 1941 penny features the classic portrait of King George VI on the obverse, designed by Humphrey Padet. His portrait is surrounded by the Latin inscription George's 6D GBBR, laughing face ID, meaning George V. by the grace of God, King of all the Britain's defender of the faith, Emperor of India. On the reverse side, we see the iconic image of Britannia seated holding a trident and shield symbolizing the strength of the British Empire. The 1940 is struck clearly below, The coin is made of bronze, weighs about 944 G, and measures 30.8 in diameter. These traditional features combined with wartime context make it a special piece of history. Now, you might wonder, why is the 1941 penny rare if millions were minted? The answer lies in survival and condition. While many were struck, most veer heavily circulated during and after the war. Coins in fine or better condition are much less common today. Collectors highly value coins that show minimal wear with clear portrait and Britannia details still intact. Furthermore, as part of the King George 56 series, the 1940 penny has gained significant attention from British and international coin collectors. Its connection to the wartime era adds another layer of demand, especially among history enthusiasts. So, how much is a 1941 penny worth in fine condition? While average circulated, examples may only fetch a few dollars. Fine condition coins can reach anywhere in today's market. Exceptional coins, graded higher than fine, such as very fine or extremely fine, can climb well over $150,000 at auction. In some cases, rare estate examples have reached several thousand depending on the demand at the time of sale. This shows how a coin that once had little spending power now carries significant numismatic value in dollars. If you own or are searching for a 1941 penny, there are some depending on where you buy or sell. Finally, remember that patience pays off, holding on to a fine condition 1940. Next up, the United Kingdom OnePenny from 1920. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary old coin, but in reality, it holds immense historical value and can be worth a surprising amount in today's option market. Especially rare are those pieces that appear in a golden shade, even in warm condition. Let's explore why this coin is so special and why collectors are always on the lookout. 4.it. The 1921 penny belongs to the reign of King George V, who is the grandfather of Queen Elizabeth II. During this time, Britain was recovering from the aftermath of World War I, and the economy was slowly stabilizing. In 1920, a significant change took place in British coinage. The Royal Mint switched the metal composition of pennies. Before 1920, pennies were struck in 95% copper, but from 1920 onwards they were made of 95% bronze alloy, copper, tin, and zinc. This transition makes the 1920 penny especially interesting because it presents the very beginning of the modern Bronze era in British coinage. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of King George V, designed by Bertram McKinnell with the Latin inscription Georges Vide Deja, Brit Omn Rex Fi Def LD, which translates to George V by the grace of God, King of all the Britain, defender of the faith, Emperor of India. On the reverse, we see Britannia, the female personification of Britain, seated, with a trident in one hand and a shield in the other, symbolizing strength and protection. The denomination OnePenny is clearly marked along with the date at the bottom. Now, what makes some 1920 pennies even more remarkable is their golden bronze shade. Over time, certain coins have developed this distinct golden tone due to metal variations and natural aging. While most pennies look dark brown or coppery, these golden shade examples stand out, making them particularly desirable to collectors. Although millions of 1920 pennies were minted, finding one in golden shade, even in warm condition, is quite rare. Most coins from that year have tarnished or turned dull with age. When a coin exhibits this golden shine, it signals unique chemical reactions in the metal or specific storage conditions. Collectors prize such unusual tones because they add a touch of uniqueness to an otherwise common coin. Furthermore, since 1920 was a transitional year in British coinage, coins from this date are always in higher demand compared to later George V issues. So, what is a 1921 penny worth? Today, in heavily circulated and worn condition, most standard 1920 pennies might fetch only $125,000. However, those with a distinct golden shade, even when worn, can sell for much more. Depending on the appeal and rarity of the tone, they can achieve prices ranging from $136,000 at auctions. Exceptional pieces in higher grades or with stronger golden dot coloration have been known to reach $265,000. Next up, we're diving deep into one of the fascinating coins from the Edwardian era of British history, the United Kingdom OnePenny of 1906. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another old penny, but for collectors, even a worn example can tell an incredible story of rarity, demand, and surprising market value. So, if you're interested in learning about its background, special features, and how much it can fetch in the auction, mark it today. The 1906 UK penny was struck during the reign of King Edward IIth, who ruled from 1901 to 1910. Edward's short reign produced some beautiful coinage, and the penny of this is highly regarded for its historical charm. In 1906, the Royal Mint produced a large number of pennies for circulation, as Britain was at the height of its industrial age, and pennies were heavily used in everyday transactions. Despite this, surviving examples in collectible condition are increasingly difficult to find. The coin not only represents Britain's Edwardian society, but also carries the weight of a nation on the brink of World War I just a few years later. The 1906 penny features the portrait of King Edward IIth on the obverse facing right, designed by George William Dales. His portrait is clean and dignified with the Latin inscription, Edward 7 G Brito and Rex Fidef, meaning Edward illeth by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, defender of the faith, Emperor of India. On the reverse, we see Britannia seated with her trident and shield, a powerful national symbol of Britain's strength and authority. The year 1906 is engraved below, even in warm condition. The even in worn condition is becoming harder each year. Collectors who specialize in completing a full Edward IIth penny set are particularly keen on securing a 1906 penny in any condition, which drives up its demand in auctions and private sales. So, how much is a 1906 penny worth today? In worn condition, values generally range from $115,000, depending on how much of the design is still visible, however better preserved. Examples, those in fine or very fine grades, can sell between $126,000. High-grade specimens, particularly uncirculated examples with a brilliant finish, can command $250,000 or more at auction. The market has seen exceptional prices for coins with strong details and original patina, showing that even a seemingly common penny can surprise collectors with its value. If you're looking to add a 1906 penny to your collection, here are a few tips. Even worn coins should display Edward II's portrait and Britannia's outline clearly. Many collectors prefer with a natural age tone rather than polished surfaces. This ensures authenticity and avoids counterfeits, which do exist in the penny market. While worn examples are affordable, higher-grade coins can escalate quickly in price. Knowing your spending limit will help you make smart decisions. The United Kingdom OnePenny of 1906 may not be the rarest coin in British